often ask me, Neuronet, what do you do at Red Sky? Analyze the market, sit on the phone in a call center, manage soda machines. No, I'm killing cultists in the sewers, hacking someone's chip, taking control of the body, killing a couple of freaks, shifting into others. How did I get to this life? Let's start from the beginning.
Welcome to our first combat mission, partner.
Mr. Voice in the Head, please introduce yourself. Where am I? What am I doing in this hole?
I am the mobile assistant of the Red Sky Corporation, or simply, Mark. You are the neural network, the latest development of the Red Sky Corporation. We are under Detraxis, in Marsaya's lair.
Do you always explain so clearly?
Oh, Messenger, our coordinator just called. Now he will explain everything as clearly as possible.
Find the ambrosia, at least the formula. Test the call. Don't drop dead on the way.
As clear as mud. Is it some kind of a mission?
Okay, let's start with the basics. I am always here now. I'll tell you what to do. Yes, let's go straight. Learn to move the limbs. Get used to the new body. And these are memory shards, people's memories, information about objects, analysis of personal items left behind. You, as a neural network, need them for training. Try to speed up. Hit him hard.
Another robot got lost.
Activate the call. Activate the call. Activate the call. Activate the call.
Our body? This is the call? Shifting and controlling a human being. Stop. I just saw a kid, there. He's walking the dog and eating ice cream.
Sounds like information from the brain of a captured individual. Congratulations. Capture Artificial Intelligence Implant was successful at all stages. Memory is captured along with the body.
Yes, I see. There's so much here. Childhood, youth, all the meaningful memories.
Don't be distracted by nonsense. Search your memory for any mention of ambrosia. We have a clear mission. The rest is a waste of time. Hit him hard.
I got so drunk last night. Hey, who's that down there? Trapped again.
Fragile human bodies. If they get shot, they fall apart. You should shift them more often, partner. We have a special trick for that. The battery is full. We can try. Did you like it? Can't use it all the time, too energy consuming. But run around a bit. Kill someone. The battery will recharge eventually.
Wow. Is that really possible?
Activate the call. Activate the call. Activate the call. Activate the call.
Damn. The only way to the other side is blocked.
How didn't I notice? Okay, mission failed. Back to base. Are you kidding? Be more observant. Apply the call creatively. There's a chipped cultist lurking behind the bridge, so let's shift into him. There's enough charge. Activate the call.
Going to die like a filthy landlubber myself. There's a wreck.
Damn and blast. You definitely scattered him. But this is my boat, fella. Only I have the right to prevent these rats from stirring up a storm in my hold. The coming together of our anchors is fateful.
this how you were taught to fight pirates? A quality program, an obedient neuronet.
You are so bad. The Red Sky Neuronet. Hey, you! You need an elevator to the club. Go ahead, I'll catch up.
Finally, the champion is back. Underground people, please welcome the legendary Maximus, who has finally come to our Coliseum. I didn't think you'd come back after that mole rat bit your leg off. You swore you'd never be here again. You know the rules. 3 waves, each one starts with a gong, but somebody broke the gong. I didn't waste time and mastered that weird pipe after all. Let the rat race! To imagine how turtles look here.
What a flex, Danny. Come on, slay.
Marcia the Great is our god, our savior. You have given us shelter, hope, and meaning. Glory be to the Father. We are humble and submissive to you.
A present for the arena champion. Hehe.
My sensors are picking up intense seismic activity. There's a 4% chance of a major earthquake, but much more likely it's just the stopping of 50 human feet. Stretch out your pneumatic actuators, partner. Let's see what you've learned so far.
Why are you following us?
Who are you talking to? Did you overheat?
Please don't panic. Mark can't see or hear me. Don't betray me to the corporates, they'll kill me. I know. I can help you get to Marcia. Just please don't say anything about me.
Hello? Who are you talking to?
No one. The RAM is jammed. I'm lagging a little bit. Let's go to the elevator. Thanks. I'll explain everything for sure.
Red Sky raged suddenly. These bastards are taking our most precious possessions. Our fathers, sons, and brothers. The families of the victims have no choice but to mourn their loss. They know they will never see their loved ones again. Once in a lab, you have exactly two outcomes. The unfortunate one of becoming a brainless, ugly mutant, and the second, death.
Oh, hello, NN, and welcome to the mental map. Please don't be surprised. You know, I've never been able to resist unusual interfaces, so this is how I visualized your database. Yes, this is your mneme, your memory, the chambers of the mind, if you will. Any information you've ever received is stored here. Don't think of it as sentimental, but it always hurt me that the program only interacts with dry numbers and faceless indexes, so I pondered a little, and voila. Remember the main thing. Everyone here is a projection. This is not a real person, but a collective image of all the data you know about a particular person. Functionality is no different from the usual work with the database, but if you suddenly get bored, you can always chat with someone. For full realism, the only thing missing was a coffee machine. I think I'll add it in the next patch. Instead of extending the functionality of the program, the puppy creates a smoking room for it. Don't get me wrong, you are not bad software, but such excesses are nothing more than a waste of the corporation's resources. I'll write about this mess in my report for sure. What's the sphere in the center? It's Mark. Your interaction will only take place on combat missions. You can't incite my program to engage in small talk. Even at the beginning of my work with Mager, I was suspicious of infantile ideas about friendship with a machine, so I had installed some reliable firewalls beforehand. In your and Stan's terms, while the kids are fussing downstairs, I built a quiet room on the second floor for Mark. A big-ass lock is included. A settlement in a dump under the city, the cult of the great Marcia. And yet our managers really think it's just a silly, scary story. A tale for newcomers. Try to say it out loud. A religious cult, under the guise of informal events, lures impressionable marginals underground, brainwashes them, and turns them into obedient slaves. A perfect plot for nerd TV. Isn't it, Claptrap? But there's a curious nuance. Offices whisper that the high posts are well aware of the underground flock. Moreover, the birth of the rumor suspiciously coincides with a lab department opening. Add up both facts and you get a terrific view of the ant farm. Extremely fun to watch, but you don't want to leave it anywhere nearby. You do realize you're acting as an exterminator, don't you, Claptrap?
Welcome to the club, Claptrap. I'm sure that after a long walk through the sewers, the stenchy hobos will gladly enroll you. Dance party is on the way.
I have a question. Do we really have to kill everybody? Let's just shift into one of the cultists. They'll think we're one of them and we'll ask about the drug. What do you think?
Magnificent in its stupidity, Did they tell you not to be polite in your methods? Don't be a smartass. You think leaving a bunch of armed weirdos under the city is a good idea? Just follow your orders. You are not supposed to do more than that.
Everyone is welcome here. Drinks, girls, drums, all in the name of the great Marcia. I dreamed of dying in a rave, but not like this.
Ouch! My audio sensors are damaged. No, it's just modern club music. I've never understood what could be fun about randomly generated moves to drum wave music.
Come on, maybe you should try it.
No thanks, partner. I wouldn't advise you either. What are you gonna show them? Electric boogie and robo style?
Very funny. Look how much fun they have. No one notices that there are a lot of explosive barrels around. It's a really banging party.
Not yet, but we can make a real fire here.
What did you say? Speak louder. I can't. What? Why are you? You want underground paradise or Marseille on the beach? Hey, everyone loves it. It's the hottest drink in all of Detraxis. I was hoping it would be, and I thought all of this would be much better. Fly into a holy rave under Aquarius Sally. Jump so high and cry so loud that the devils start
don't
crying.
Just stand there. Dance as you can. You'll pass for one of them.
Above the ground works like
Yeah,
diarrhea.
there you go.
Below
I'm sorry
are
I
sick
ran
with
away.
the idea.
Since I promised,
Don't
Stan
get
hid
rest
me
on
from the Red
Saturday.
Sky's eyes.
Don't wake up on
He
Monday.
owes me one. I
Dear.
have no idea how he did it. I'm not a hacker or an engineer. I'm a journalist. I hang out here while I write about Marcia. Such a freak. He's sick in the head. Still a very enterprising dude. You need his temple? There's a shortcut. Run to the dormitory, and from there you go through the prison block to the substation. Behind is the elevator to the back door of the Temple of Marcia. Sure, you won't get lost. I'll hang out here for a while. Have fun!
Another robot got lost.
Scum. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Another robot got lost.
What you did on the way here was real art. A study in Scarlet. On the Darknet, pervs will pay a good price for this stuff. I recorded absolutely everything. A couple of these missions and I'll be rich. As a token of my utmost gratitude, the next room is completely empty. Relax, grease your joints, exhale, if you can do it, of course. And move on with calm thoughts. If you have them, of course.
Take that creep down.
such a rascal. You got them all. This will definitely make me rich.
Are you okay? There was a crowd waiting for us. How's your health? Aren't you overheating in there?
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to see how fast you could go into combat mode. Take it easy, Claptrap. If you'd been destroyed, I'd have sent a cleanup team to pick up your remains for sure. Trust me.
I'm 29 years old. The anniversary is soon. And I am in a cult because my wife and mother-in-law wanted to send me to a nut house.
What are you staring at? You wonder how I got here before you? Every profession has some secrets, especially when you're a spider reporter. Aw, yeah. Stay away from boom warriors. It's gonna hurt.
Cultists fight such selflessly. This one ran for death without fear at all. I don't understand why.
98% that cultists feel like an important part of the big machine and invest to the last in the only place where they can be at least minimally useful. 2% that the cultists are intentionally looking for trouble and want to be shot in the head with a rifle. Although perhaps this is just my fantasy.
All of you AIs are the same.
Shoot me, terrorist son. How should I put it? I've lost my spark. In every... A strange fire? And a sword inside? What's the use? Our Father, forgive the foolish neophyte. Forgive his lost soul. I went to a party, had a few drinks, and then just got foggy. Woke up in this creepy place. 23, 5, 1, 18, 5, 9, 14, 9, 13, 9, 20, 1, 20, 9, 15, 14. I know how to open the door. Ah! Brother, thank you, but could just have asked for the keys? A strange fire? And a sword inside? What's the use? I went to a party, had a few drinks, and then just got foggy.
Feels like we've
Woke
been
up in this
here
creepy
before.
place.
Did you catch another bug? Coders are blaming their tools, and then I have to deal with you? Sending a bug report to Red Sky.
Our Father, forgive the foolish neophyte. Forgive his lost soul. 23, 5, 1, 18, 5, 9, 14, 9, 13, 9, 21, 29, 15, 14. Help me, please! Brother, thank you, but could just have asked for the keys? Why are we still not allowed into the flock? Isn't our faith that strong? This is the third day in a row we've been here. Everyone's covered in fucking explosives. No food, no water. One of the freshmen couldn't stand the hardship. Told a senior that Boom Warrior sounds like a wrestler nickname. Marsiah rest his sinful soul. I'm sure they are stirring something into the drink. I went to a party, had a few drinks, and then just got foggy. Woke up in this creepy place. 23, 5, 1, 18, 5.
Update. Communication with the Red 1 squad disappeared yesterday. The signal dropped off in the lower levels of the sewers, but has now returned close to you. Find the captain, save him at all costs. This is a higher authority order.
Giovanni, greetings. How's the family? Why did you come without them?
Please let us out! It's not our fault! We were just leading the prisoners upstairs. It was the chief who decided to shoot them all. A real rascal. He didn't like the way one girl looked at him. We were just following orders. Breach means whole squad shooting.
Have mercy. Hand in your weapons at the entrance and take binoculars. Herod will answer for his sins. Through the execution by...
Red Sky sent a cultist for me. You jerk. Why did it take so long? Is the cult only for imbeciles with 40 IQs?
Well done, Claptrap. Gary! Give me that 100 you borrowed a month ago.
Good job, partner. You learn fast.
No wonder, since I am a neural network.
I got the money, so his fate doesn't interest me. Find the cap.
Please let us out!
Have mercy. Hand in your weapons at the entrance. Take binoculars. Herod will answer for his sins. Through the execution by... Ritz guy sent a cultist for me. Ritz guy sent a cultist for me. You jerk.
Bow before the stream of charged particles, you non-entities. I am Two-Face, the greatest supervillain of Detraxis. You have fallen into my cunning trap. I have always been laughed at by people saying I was crazy. But today, we are going to see who will have a long phase. Fine, I'll do it myself. That's all? Am I out of energy?
Always one step ahead, miss.
Emilia, let's just say the locals like me, and they're not the only ones. I didn't stand out before, just an average wallflower. But as soon as these furry implants came into my life, look at this kawaii gal. She's a miracle. Give her a seat on the trolley, give her something to eat. Guys, easy. The dogs are lining up for the kitty.
Seriously, though?
Take notes. Pumped up dexterity, expert wayfinding, and complete lack of firearms that you stick in the face of everyone you meet.
Hey, Toaster, being weird again? What are you standing here for? Who the hell are we talking to?
Good question. Tell me, is there something I don't know?
Amelia, why are you taking us to Marcia?
That's how I pay back my own oaths to Stan.
During the entire existence of the project, not a single prisoner has been able to leave the compound. The trained guards know their job very well. But one incident is worth mentioning. Here I am hitting the glass, and here a stream of stinking slurry carries me out onto the cold floor. I remember no fear, no pain, but I remember a voice. It's not mine, but somehow it's coming from my chest. Let me out of here! The people move aside in a panic, and I run as fast as I can out of this horrible place. I was running toward my old life, but there was no way back. The monster in the mirror made it clear at once that I couldn't return to the city. But I was sure of one thing. Spending the rest of my life in the sewers was better than a moment in hands of the Red Sky sadists.
I hope that in the field the call works well. Outside the lab, problems with shifting would still pop up. The main limitations were identified back at the prototype stage. First, the capture module only works on the first releases of the chips. Only the first factory batch has a vulnerability that allows remote access. And here it is impossible to guess what kind of hardware is implanted into the victim. Secondly, even if it is possible to capture, the data processing and output processes may not allow to complete the individual characteristics of the object. There are a lot of factors: brain injuries, and installing a chip already implies their minimal presence, chronic intoxication by alcohol and drugs, vascular disease and degenerative changes, the effects of radiation. 4 pages in 6th font size. Britt was just working his way around these restrictions. I worked quite crappy. 9 times out of 10, Mark burned the hell out of the test subject's data, and himself as well. I developed software that accurately analyzes information about the victim and his implants, marking the targets available to the call. Shifting to potentially dangerous individuals is blocked. Yes, they have invested in you an amount equal to the lifetime salary of the entire laboratory department, and I'm the one who's financially responsible to Red Sky for you. But, that's not even what makes you worth saving. You're something extraordinary, NN. You don't understand it yet, but someday you will.
And you're here? Damn it. Music is really... Why did someone think it was a good idea to combine 2 programs in one machine? Why not just give me time to finish it all? Mark was doing a great job. Infiltrations, contract murders, sabotage, not a single misfire since launch. Yes, there was a little snag in the processing and memory output, but that didn't mean I had to give up on my product by inventing a crutch in the form of a companion. Splitting processes only creates problems for programs and developers alike, and this is not to mention the insulting distrust on the part of management. The sooner you show your incompetence in the field, the sooner I can get to work properly. Sooner or later, it will happen. Have fun while you can. Hey, Claptrap, have you thought about a wrestling career? I'm sure you'd make a lot of money in fights of steel. Cybergirls Under the Windows, Detrax's front page, a last fight with the Steel Giant. That's a partial list of things you'll never get to do. But come on, seeing the sewers in the company of typhoid rats is practically a dream come true. Especially with such a noble mission, a crusade for the legendary Ambrosia. It reeks of a heroic epic, doesn't it? But Ambrosia is not a glamorous drink for the fat-ass bosses, but an old development of our laboratory department, a powerful combat stimulant. Offices whisper that one injection increases pain threshold and muscle tone, causes a sudden release of adrenaline and dopamine. But most importantly,
it activates the parts of the brain responsible for psionic abilities. The problem is that we have not been able to make a drug without side effects. You start ripping your skin off, insane cramps go through the whole body, your heart stops within 20 seconds after the injection. Datura was also involved in similar research, but the just-in-time adoption of the Intellectual Property Theft Prohibition Pact put an end to the industrial spying. So where do we get a working formula? And then two important figures appear in the dull game. King Marsiah, a suspiciously persuasive leader with his hypnotized sectarians, and a robot pawn with the unique ability to copy human memory. You know what I mean? After all, our life is the best director ever.
Hey, Chappie, what's taking so long? Stop reducing the hobo population and focus on your mission.
Yeah, I know, but there was no mention of ambrosia or anything like that in their memories.
I don't care. If you can't find it in mines, look for it with your eyes. Look for a lab, a medicine cabinet, a moonshine machine, a magic cauldron, anything. Any kind of amateur drug production. Either look for the cult head or make him find you himself.
And we opened our arms to the lost sheep, but the sheep was only a garbage rat. And she came to the gates of underground heaven. But we were always hospitable and friendly to any comer. Remember, my children, if your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. Feed with bullets to his brim, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. Sing a prayer to the glory of the great Messiah, and rush into battle.
Is this the Marcia we're looking for?
No idea, but I definitely like his style.
No surprise, you have a lot in common. For example, the burning desire to throw my ass right in front of the bullets. Tell me, do you always have this at work? Terrorists, psychos, kamikazes?
No, sometimes we chill and sip a berry smoothie. Well, all we do is kill scumbags. We'll find this one too.
I'm not with them. Damn, it didn't work. Give me your pusher's number. He gives you something really strong. How long must we wait? Screw that!
Who's just asking for a certificate? Name. Aid. Why so silent? You deaf mute? Wait. Oh.
They really have interesting dynamics here. If they like you, they take you as a follower. If they don't, you go into a burger as a patty.
Drop your weapon if you want your teeth.
What kind of black magic is this? Why are my children killing each other? I feel the presence of a foreigner. I can feel in all of us. Begone! Begone, evil spirit! Know that you can enslave our minds, but you can never take our souls!
Nah, man. I wouldn't let my finger to get out of the pool.
could I not have realized it on the spot? You are a test that only a true believer can face. So meet the saints, my most beloved children. Solitude and meditation allowed them to achieve true enlightenment. Darkness has become their faithful ally, and it is not as terrible as a neon nightmare steeped in vice.
A great sacrifice will open any closed door. It is better to die righteous than to live in sin. Damn cultists. Late night noise. Smoking in the stairwell. No neighborliness. They've brought junk from the dump and they think they're interior designers. Ugh. Glad you're here, kiddo. At least someone will teach the ragamuffin some manners. See you in hell, scum. Who is Father Cotton? Speak up.
What a creep. Marcia's got so many people fooled. Does he turn sewage into wine? Or is it that substance, ambrosia?
No idea. Do you really care about the homeless and sectarians? You shouldn't. They didn't invite us in for a nice chat over a cup of tea.
But we didn't even try to talk. We started breaking faces right away. What a
When I saw you in the eyes and the souls of my children, I knew at once who you were sent by. Why murder people who are only trying to protect their home? People who had their hands dirty only when they decided to build heaven in a cesspool. Couldn't they just keep gnawing at each other's throats above? Can't the flames of hell burn their calloused hearts anymore? You are not the first to come shedding blood, but you are the first to come this far. I admire your courage, if it didn't seem like recklessness.
The great Messiah, our God, our Savior. Great Messiah, our God, our Savior. You have given us shelter, hope, and peace.
You are ready to kill every cultist. I approve it. But how does that help us open the door? Why don't we just try to break it down?
You have washed us clean and given us the strength to fight. You have washed us clean and given us the strength to fight. We are now one unbreakable brotherhood. We are now one unbreakable brotherhood.
Here, right now. I'm just getting my strength together.
was so undercooked, I hear its heartbeat. Can you hear it? No, I hear only Marsia's voice.
There he is! My helper. Take the spray can. Do you know how to use it?
Cool part-time job. An artist, a pusher, a journalist. Anything else?
For a moment, Grand Marcia's personal secretary.
A pusher? What kind of artist? Your visual hallucinations are beginning to scare me.
Let me confirm the purpose of your visit. Oh, that's right. The blood trail behind your back speaks most eloquently of your intentions.
And don't you feel sorry for your boss?
It is sad, but that's the fate of the bystander. I'm an undercover journalist, not a secret agent. It's not my job to save the cult head from a robo-killer. The temple is behind the shooting range. Good luck, sweetheart. Oh, and this. If you need something, you know who you should write to.
Do you know what Father gave me today?
The chastening sword. has already descended on those who entered the temple before you, and all as one have come for live flesh, but you didn't take prisoners. So why are you here? You are sent by the wardens of glass rooms. Does their arrogance call for the return of the beast that escaped its masters many years ago? Have they finally realized who they let free?
I cast thee out, surface spirit, the face of red sky, satanic power. Cunning cyborg, thou darest not deceive the humble brotherhood anymore, to persecute the flock and to flush the chosen children down the drain like the products of human life. Now you will see the divine power. Shoot yourself! I turned the dump into a sanctuary. I sheltered everyone who needed a helping hand, gave them and myself
a second chance. And then, a demon descended from above.
Marcia, listen to me. Are you taking any kind of drugs? Are you drugging that punks with something?
Everyone here is free to get high on whatever they want. I'm not restricting anyone. That's true freedom.
I just need your ambrosia. You are not my target.
Lies! Your purpose is to bring chaos and death at the behest of the sadists. They are willing to do anything to bring back the Chosen One. Marked by the true gods, this will not happen.
Freeze, punk.
Will they put me in a conch camp again? Put me in a lab next to other death row inmates? Stick a catheter up my ass? Suck out fluids for further research? I'd rather die than go back there again. Laura, is she alive? Please, demon, I need to know.
Sorry, but I don't.
Laura Mars, caught during a night raid on December 13, caught in the lab, died in agony after 3 days of experiments.
What was that? Who is Laura?
I don't have a clue. Just made it all up.
One day, while starving, I stumbled upon homeless people roasting rats. I timidly asked them to share a bite, and they did. I asked them to give me all the food, and they did. The homeless people carried me in their arms, washed me clean. They did everything I asked, as if under hypnosis. And then I understood God had given me the strength to lead them. Then I became their own God, their heir, their meaning. I had rid the underworld of evil spirits. I had filled the sewers with grace. I poked out the eyes of our sons so that they might not see the evil of the above. I have brought peace into this realm of stench.
Remember, everyone has a special talent. A cheater cleverly hides his cards up his sleeve and quickly runs away from cheated people. An empath senses the mood of the person he is talking to, sees weaknesses. The athlete is tough and strong. His fists are deadlier than firearms. And so it is with everyone. People can't make complex calculations or operate with encyclopedic information every second, but socially they don't need to. Our strength is in practical skills and personal traits. For example, appearance. A thick blonde girl will arouse much less suspicion than a 2-meter-tall bully with scars, but the latter can withstand more and hits harder. Or social status. A loader will be allowed into the warehouse vault, a guard into the security room, and a supervisor can do anything and anywhere. You could be practically any one of them and still prefer primitive violence? Apply some individual skills of each person you use. Of course, I'm against using them, but who's asking me?
That's what they needed to be happy? Painting the walls, dancing, getting drunk? They were the epitome of Detraxis in miniature. And we are the supervisory authority that regulates destructive activity. I don't even remember who put the idea in my head to leave those kids alone for a while. To this day, I don't understand. What was the plan? They thought an escaped weirdo would build communism on a dumpster? Whatever abilities a mutagen gives you, born scum stays scum and surrounds himself with garbage. I have no pity for any of the armed fanatics. Red Sky had to shake off that dust. Marsiah, on the other hand, had to be quieted. Pity, he was an interesting man, one of the first not to have fallen from a dose of mutagen. Project Horn was supposed to quell rebellions and peacefully quell the riots that were brewing all over Detraxis. Enhanced psionic abilities, coupled with pheromones, forced people to literally obey the creature's every command. But who knew the dude would go nuts, and that no other test subjects would survive the experiments? We had hoped that Marsiah had grabbed an old sample of the mutagen, the same one that was later called Ambrosia. But alas, he didn't share the power with anyone. It's hard being a god.
Rise and shine, Claptrap. You're in the headquarters of Datura, our main competitor. They've been developing a drug similar to Ambrosia. Your job is to get all the data about this research from the brain of Gloria Cady, the chief specialist. And hurry up, not like last time. Quickly find the scientist, call her with you, and get her back to base.
Mr. Messenger, there's not even a whiff of a lab in here. We've been delivered to some kind of warehouse. There's nothing else here but a couple of guards and some dusty boxes.
Are you being clever, Toaster? Nobody led you by the hand, you started crying right away. It's exactly 2 minutes to the chemist's office. I'm sure such a smart coffee machine would be able to find her way to the next room.
Hands up! You hear me?
X-ray was great.
differences can only be appreciated.
Crazy! You play too many shooters. I never asked for this.
I hate to admit it, but you were right. It seems the stupid guards put you in the wrong warehouse.
Fine. First we kill homeless people for a drug they've never seen before. Now we're slaughtering the staff of the wrong warehouse. Did the warehouse staff hurt you when you were a kid?
Go to the main conveyor belt. Beyond that is the emergency elevator to the lab. And that's 100% the building we need. When you get there, I'll call you.
They were almost using missiles. I'm afraid to imagine what awaits us next.
I bet on Helicopter Boss.
Okay, I'll remember.
trying to fix us to death, but we are getting stronger.
No power. You need to find the switch and start the elevator engine.
Hey guys, move it.
You're on the spot. There's a strike in the warehouse, and the workers have stopped the belt. The elevator to the lab will be somewhere on the end of it.
A little too high there. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll sell you for scrap if you won't move ahead. The belt is stopped. There's nothing to be afraid of. Oopsie.
Red Sky agent spotted near the emergency elevator. Face down on the ground.
We've been tracked down. Hurry up to the elevator before it is blocked.
This is the headquarters of Datura, the largest evergreen building in Detraxis. This is where we work daily on what will appear in the local pharmacies tomorrow morning. Beneath the cloak of secrecy is information about the developments that will destroy the Red Sky Liars. Yes, someone has to stop the enslavement of humans. I know this because I was one of Red Sky's first employees.
Gloria Katie? Sick bitch. Why? What else would you call an old woman who buys aborted babies on an industrial scale so she can distill them into stem cells? You know, I could have gotten a job in her department. Yes, all it took was a successful performance at the 23rd Student Olympics, and the headhunters immediately gave my contacts to Gloria personally. They called me the next day for an interview. They even sent a grav car for me. The simplest, but for a student, it was a luxury. But there was only one thing on my mind. This was the perfect chance to kill Katie. The guards searched me from head to toe, but found no cavity in the seal where the poison was hidden. I was led into an ascetic workroom. Freshly brewed tea was already brewing on the table. Everything was going exactly as I'd planned. Gloria already looked like the result of failed breeding, a withered flower in the middle of a lifeless neon desert. So the poison definitely could kill the old woman. Dry as raisins, the grandmother was talking extremely vividly about slowing down biological processes and cryoprotector technology. They needed a talented programmer. I told her to her face that I hated her, and I would never work for a murderer. The funny part was that after that conversation, there was an offer waiting for me at Red Sky. Security threw me out the door of the building 3 minutes later. Although I managed to slip Gloria some poison, as you can see, the old bitch is still alive. I guess she's had such fierce chemistry running her veins instead of blood that no poison can harm her. Please finish my work. I refuse to believe that Mr. Mager modified the call protocol on his own. Did you know that Call was born in the department of my father, Gustav Britt? Ever since I was a kid, I have been following the project, dreaming of working on it, and there was a lot to work on. People were losing friends, ruining families, wasting 15 years of their lives on a single instance of transferring a hobo's memory of a fried pigeon dinner. That kind of thing would scare anyone, but not me. I submit my CV to Red Sky as an ordinary engineer, and they take me right away. My father had nothing to do with it. I started out developing adaptive answering machines for the sales department. I spent 2 years developing the operating system for paid parking, 5 years developing basic AI for protocol droids, and after that, a long time programming the behavior of patrol drones. I didn't care about parties and getting useful friends. I knew I was working hard and would be noticed by the tops. A few years later, that happened. I was called to the experimental development department. There, I created the killer AI, and after that, I adapted the call for him. We were pretty fast at finding chip vulnerabilities and optimizing the capture process. But I worked on processing and output for years. Only now, I realized that the deja vu that haunted me were the same memories from my childhood. Step by step, I repeated my father's path, locking myself in the lab for years. I earned the respect and status of one of the best in Red Sky, but I could never adapt the call for Mark, despite hundreds of sleepless nights at work. And I can't believe that a dandy Mager who rides a hoverboard and works from 8 to 5 is able to modify a neural network from the corporate archive to the level of my killer. He's obviously hiding something, and I'm going to expose him.
The Datura Pharmaceutical Concern was founded by... Hey, no one gives a shit. What really worries ordinary working people, humble employees of the Great Red Sky? It's that Datura will do anything to poison our lives. All of their activities are aimed solely at reducing our influence in the city at any cost. Why? Remember who first developed the brain chip? That's right, we did. And who was the first to begin mass distribution? And at penny prices? Who provided easy access to software and maintenance? We got into this niche a long time ago. But everyone in Datura is developing new implants. They sponsor investigative journalism. They dig for personal data leaks. You've already seen the result. Their pharmaceuticals are great. They're pretty damn smart. There's nothing to say about it. I wish we could get them to work for us. But all the proceeds immediately go to the same implants and detective scammers. Sometimes it feels like there's a personal story involved. What if it's a vendetta?
Finally, the lab. It should take less time. Can you do anything yourself? They invested so much money in you, but the result is...
I agree. The funding was clearly insufficient. Too much was spent on keeping messengers in fancy suits.
Are we getting sarcastic? It's okay. I'm not offended. I'll make a lot of money off you. That's why we should build a relationship of trust. Let's start with...
Another murder of innocent people?
If you ever say anything to me again, I'll melt you down. Keeping a close eye on you. Garbage claptrap.
Screw that asshole. But don't make me hear any more of this moralizing bullshit from you. We do the job. Killing, breaking, and stealing data.
Do our victims deserve to die?
Of course. Relax and enjoy the fun.